Today we're going to be starting chapter 8. We're going to be dealing with what's called geometric vectors. We're going to be creating some vectors on our paper. Numbers 1, 2, and 3 are three vectors that have already been drawn for us. Okay? We're going to find the magnitude and the direction of the vector because just like in the movie that I can't name, all right, vectors have both magnitude and direction. So, I'm not going to say which movie that is because you don't want anybody talking about copyright infringement. Right? So here, this symbol right here, everybody, this symbol right here represents a vector. All right? This means vector x. And what we want to figure out is we want to figure out the magnitude, which is basically the length of it, right? How far it's going, all right, and the direction that it's going. Now, this right here is the vector. The dotted line is just basically, think of it as the x-axis, all right, right here. So the first thing we're going to figure out, let's just figure out the direction. Let's figure out the angle. How many degrees is it going from 0 degrees? If this is 0 degrees, how many degrees is that going from 0 degrees? So you get your protractor out. Okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the protractor right here. This part right here, see where the little finger is right there? That part right there goes right on the vertex of the angle. You line it up just like that. Okay? And then if you're measuring it from the right, you look at the inside number. So it went up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It's right there at 60 degrees. So the direction, everybody, from 0 degrees, that goes 60 degrees. That's 0. And where is this at? This is at 60 degrees, and we measured it from the inside. Okay. Now, the magnitude is the length. It says use a ruler and a protractor. We just use the protractor, use a ruler, and measure this in centimeters. Now, mine is going to be a lot longer simply because it's zoomed in. So if I use my ruler, there we go, there it is, and I measure it, mine's going to be a lot longer than what yours is. It looks like mine is all the way up to an 8 centimeters, okay? Well, 8 centimeters is not the answer for your question, right? If you measure it, what do you guys get? 2 centimeters, that's right, okay? So magnitude you're going to write is 2 centimeters. Yeah, but you put 2.1 centimeters, right? So basically, just right around 2 centimeters right there, and that's the magnitude and the direction for problem number 1. Now we're going to use this answer for some of our other problems that we're going to do later on in the page. All right? That's it. Number 2. We're going to measure. Okay? Good. We're going to measure both the what? The magnitude and the direction. So I'm going to start with the direction. Get my protractor out. That's right, you got it. Good job. Right there. Now this one right here, you count it all the way around. That's right there at 140. Okay? Now, if it was from the other side right here, what would the angle be if I was going from the other side? From right here. That would be 40 degrees here, but here it's 140. So the direction you're going to write 140 degrees. Okay, now let's look at the magnitude. Mine says 12. 3. Yours should probably be 3 centimeters. Put 3. Interesting. Adam, this one was 12, right? Instead of 3, the other one was 8 instead of 2. Looks like I'm kind of scaled up by 4 right now, almost. I don't want to zoom in anymore.
So would this one be 0 for direction?
Let's look. So look at number 3. In your journal. Number 4 says, find the magnitude and the direction of vector x plus vector y. So right now, what I'd like you to do on problem number 4 is I'd like you to list the magnitude and the direction for both of those, because we're going to use both components, all right? Or both pieces of information. All right, so what was the magnitude of vector x? Vector x was what, 2 centimeters. What was the direction of vector x? 60 degrees. The magnitude of vector y was 3 centimeters, and the direction was 140 degrees. Now we're going to be adding these together. What are we going to start with? We're going to start with vector x, and then we're going to add vector y to it. So go ahead and put this information in your journal, and I'll show you how to use it. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do some, we're going to draw this out, okay? So the first thing I want you to do to draw this out is I need you to make a little dotted line right here on the picture. Make sure you have plenty of room up here, okay? So make a nice dotted line. What I'll do is I'll go down a little bit further so all you see is a nice white dotted line. So the first thing I'm going to do from that dotted line, we're going to draw vector x. So you're right, we're going to take our protractor right here, everybody. Make sure you're in pencil. Please use pencil. Here we go. Can everybody see how 60 degrees, everybody, is right in here? Ever see that?
Yeah.
All right, so there's 60 degrees. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to draw in a nice solid line, but don't do this in pen. Let me explain to you what I got to do next after this. So I'm making a line that's going through the point like that. But now I don't want it to be that long. What's the vector x? It's only 2 centimeters, right? So what I got to do is I got to take my ruler. That's right. So I'm going to take my ruler, going to rotate it nice and neat, put it right here, rotate it a little bit more.
I have a question. Kind of weird.
What's that?
So
right here. Now I got to take my eraser and watch. I'm going to go back to what? Back to 2 centimeters. Right there. Right there I'm at 2 centimeters. Now yours is going to look a little bit easier. Your 2 centimeters is a little bit easier than mine. That's really, really small. So what does this represent right here? This represents vector what? Vector x, which had a 2 centimeters and 60 degrees. This is the 60 degrees right here. 60 degrees. Now, what do I need to add to that? I need to add vector y, right?
Yeah.
Now, here's how you add vector y. We're going to make another dotted line. Very important that this dotted line is parallel. It's parallel to our first one. See how these are parallel right now? Okay, so make another perfectly straight line from the tip. By the way, in a vector, it's going to draw a random vector here. Okay? Just a random vector like that. This represents the tip of the vector. This represents the tail of the vector. All right? And we're going to make these vectors tip to tail. Okay? Now we got to do what? 140 degrees from that, right? So let's go to do 140 degrees from that. Get our protractor out. Going to put the protractor right here. Right here. There's your protractor. Now, we got to go 140 degrees, right? So we got to count from the inside. 10, 20, 30, 40, all the way out here. See the 140 right here? 140. So right there, put a little dot. Now I'm going to make a connection. I'm going to make a ray going straight through that dot. But I don't want it to be that long, do I? How long do I want it to be? 3 centimeters. So once again, got to take out my ruler. Going to rotate it. Got to rotate it around. Come on, ruler, work. There we go. Rotating. Measuring it, and I only want to measure it to what? 3 centimeters. I got to erase. Going all the way back to 3. Oh, that's about right. centimeters right there. Now, does everybody see from here to here, that's how many degrees? That's 140, so that's 140 degrees. And this represents vector y. This is what vector x plus vector y looks like. Now, here's your final answer. Your final answer is going to be in green. Check this out. This is the final result. It's called the resultant. Okay? Does everybody see the green right here? The green right here is what's referred to as the answer to vector x plus vector y. That's the resultant. So we're going to find the measure of this distance right here. So we need to know what? We need to know the
So you want
magnitude.
to inside triangle?
So this right here, that line, that ray, the distance from here to here. Got to find that magnitude. So let's go ahead and measure it.
Okay. Yeah, I thought there is not.
You know what? Actually, if I went all the way up, Adam, see right here? See where the tip is? If I actually went all the way up, that would be where? That'd be 4. Okay? So the magnitude of this, everybody, the magnitude is equal to 4 centimeters. Now, the last thing we're going to do is we're going to find the direction. Now, here's how you find the direction. From the original starting position. Everybody see where the original starting position is? Right there. How many degrees is it from here? Right here.
From where?
From here to there. How many degrees? 110. 110 degrees. So the direction, everybody, right here, the direction was equal to 110 degrees. This is my final answer. There's the magnitude, there's the direction, there's the picture that goes with it. What was this green ray right here represent? That's the resulting vector of adding vector x to vector y.
And what do you do if you put that?
We'll worry about that next week. We'll worry about subtraction next.